Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Today we did see a new update go out in Black Ops 6 and Warzone, a full-on title update. This is actually the 1.66 title update. It wasn't a major one by any means. It was only about 2 gigs depending on which platform you're on. That's roughly the size it was for me on PC and on PlayStation alike. However, it was a mandatory download for all players. So it doesn't matter if you are a DMZ player, doesn't matter if you're trying to play some MW3 multiplayer, or if you're actively here on Black Ops 6 and Warzone. This is an update for the entire COD HQ that was a mandatory download. So the next time you go to jump onto the game, you'll have to go through and download this. If you had the preload from earlier on today, you should be good to go. The update is now fully pushed out, and of course, per usual with COD updates right now, it seems like an update goes out, it fixes some things, it breaks several others. So we do have some new patch notes to break down, although the patch notes themselves, there's something. We also have some other additional things to look out for the remainder of this week as well, considering we are on the road to season 2. So a couple of things to break down here today. First up though, let's talk these patch notes, because like I said, there are a few things going on here. So as of now, just the Warzone patch notes page has been updated. There wasn't anything for Black Ops 6 multiplayer or zombies in specific with this patch. But as you can see, we've got our Monday, January 13th update. And with this, couple of bug fixes outright. They fixed an issue where loading screens were causing instances of freezing or crashing. Outright, that's a fantastic fix there, because this has been an issue since the January 3rd update that happened, where constantly you couldn't load into a game because loading screens were glitched. You'd try and change them, and then the same issue would just happen with the next one, and then the next one, like quite literally making the game unplayable. So nice that they went through and fixed that. It's a bummer that it took 10 days where players just straight up couldn't play the game and couldn't load into a lobby to begin with, but at least that said, they did fix the freezing and loading crash issue with that when you actually join games. They also fixed an issue with the bullet trajectory on the AMR mod 4. Interesting here, because with this, they didn't mention this the other day, but a slight patch went out the other day, and it seemed like the hit scan on the AMR mod 4 was completely removed, but they didn't say anything about it. They didn't tweet about it. It was in no patch notes whatsoever. So that said, now the AMR mod 4 is no longer hit scan. You definitely want to be using overpressured ammo on your setup for that, so that it actually has good velocity now, but it's noticeably worse feeling than it was before that. They also fixed an issue in Resurgence where a player dying out of bounds would lose functionality of their field upgrades and kill streaks. So super niche fix there for sure. They also fixed an issue where models weren't visible for ammo boxes, self-revives, or throwing knives, so you just couldn't interact with those, you couldn't pick them up. Annoying glitch there for sure. They also fixed an issue where players would not have a death icon when dying to red light, green light, so you wouldn't be able to see your X there, so you could land right back on your loot. Now it'll be easier to actually see that. And believe it or not, those are the patch notes today. Insanely disappointing. Like what we have here, that's great, that's fine. It's nice that they are going through and they are fixing things here. Great that they fixed this loading screen issue, because that was objectively a huge issue, but it's a title update, required download. I think the expectation is that there's going to be more than what seems to be the bare minimum in a lot of cases. But like I said, this isn't the only thing that ended up getting changed today, or the only thing that ended up happening in game, because like I said, this update dropped and more things broke. So we do have a few other additional things to cover today as well, as we do go throughout all the details today, what else changed, and also what to expect in the next few days as well. If you are new to the channel, every single day I got you covered with news, updates, patch notes, meta breakdowns, all things going on in COD, the good, the bad, everything in between. So feel free to hit that subscribe button, turn on those post notifications, join us in getting one step closer to 1 million. And if you enjoyed this video, despite the well, interesting update here, a like rating is always seriously appreciated as well. So COD Updates has posted a few other additional things outside of the patch notes here today. Initially, when this update first dropped, they broke matchmaking entirely. Again, this is now the second time since I think the start of the new year where a major update or even a hotfix update breaks matchmaking. Kind of crazy that this is a repeat issue at this point, but it's the state of COD that we're in. As this update was rolling out, players may notice temporarily longer matchmaking times. When it first dropped, you just straight up could not matchmake at all. You couldn't search for a game in multiplayer, zombies, even Warzone private match was broken. This is now sort of started to fix itself, but if you're jumping on like maybe right when you see this video go live, you may still experience some longer load times, but keep in mind that's a correlation with this update. It's not like your game in specific is broken. It's happening for everyone, so it should be updated updated and should get fixed as the day progresses. Of course, they talked about the patch notes here, which is hilariously minuscule. Black Ops 6 in general here, they also deployed a fix so that vehicles will no longer occasionally disappear for some clients during gameplay and multiplayer. This one is important just for the misinformation category, if you will. Obviously, Black Ops 6, it's really hard to believe what is real and what's not. Of course, the whole, promo for this game is the truth lies. They're not helping themselves when their game is this broken. The servers are so bad because there will be instances in gameplay. I've seen this happen on Nuketown. I think I've seen it happen on a few other maps as well, where there's supposed to be a vehicle on the map. For instance, on Nuketown, the buses. At times, they'll become invisible and you can see right through them and shoot through them. So players on your screen are seen through objects and you can see them just fine. So naturally, you're going to shoot at them. If they turn the corner around that invisible vehicle, it looks like you're snapping on them through walls if that other player watches the kill cam. So they think you're wall hacking. In reality, your game is just broken. This has also caused issues where it looks like you're shooting on a player and you're getting no hit detection whatsoever, right? And you think that your gun is broken, you're getting live nerfed, which isn't a thing, all sorts of stuff like that. So a huge issue, like I said, for misinformation, basically the game lying to you and then also lying to the other players, making them think you're doing something weird. A big issue for sure. Nice to see that this was finally fixed. It's just a bummer because this has been an issue pretty much since launch. It just has taken months now to fix this, when in reality it probably shouldn't have been a thing initially there. Also, of course, as they mentioned, the issue for freezing and crashing fully fixed per today's update as well. It's also a bit unfortunate here that just their communication as of late has not been super clear. We have the Trello boards here where we have several things listed as fixed schedule. The Warzone one in specific doesn't have as many, but for instance, they said they had a fix scheduled for the body shield being disabled in ranked play, but yet we had an update go live now and no fix was out for this. So now it's like, well, when is exactly this fix scheduled for? Is it going to be until season 2 we can't do this in rank? Like, what's the deal here? Some communication there would be fantastic. Obviously, it's also disappointing that those patch notes are so minimal, considering we have this very lengthy list of issues, a lot of which they just recently started talking about. Issues where you can't revive teammates, issues where you can't interact with loot, all sorts of bugs and glitches like that. Blueprints still being broken as well. Then you've got the multiplayer Trello as well, where they did actually move some things over to the fixer, at least have those vehicles being invisible, of course. Some visual effects being broken on Citadel Day More were also recently fixed, but then you have several other fixes scheduled. For instance, this Vermin double hit, they did specifically clarify here, hey, it says fixed schedule, but this won't be happening until season 2, so there's no expectation for it in an update like this. They've also had a fix scheduled for free-for-all, not accurately giving you wins when you place in the top 3. Finishing moves that they're currently selling in the store that don't actually work. So you're buying a broken product with no warning of it unless you were to watch this video or watch other videos covering the Trello or go and investigate it for yourself. But then again, a bunch of issues being investigated. I'm pretty sure this care package one had a fix schedule, then they changed it back to investigating. So clearly their fix didn't work there. But again, there's just not much communication going on here, where there's a lot of questions, obviously a lot of outrage with the game right now in the current state of it. And it's just a lot of radio silence. Now, beyond just today's update, what changed and what didn't change, what ended up breaking, it is still just the start of the week. There's plenty of opportunities later in this week for other updates to go out. Typically, we see a lot of stuff happen on Thursdays with playlists and whatnot. We'll have to wait and see if anything does. And of course, if something does happen, if they announce anything, if anything goes live in game, I'll be sure to keep you guys updated. A few other things to look out for, though. We do know we have a few other things happening this week that could be significant. For one, Detonated reports on this. Treyarch every year, obviously very big on their zombies. January 15th, 115 day, obviously has had big ties to zombies with element 115. So it's quite possible that we see something happen this week on the 15th in terms of maybe an announcement for future content, maybe some kind of in-game event or something like that. Obviously not going to go over great if it's not directly correlated to fixes in the general state of the game, but it is something to look out for regardless. Plus, we also know at the end of the week, we've got some other stuff going on. According to the patch notes from January 9th, Treyarch also mentions that with the week 3 update for Deadlight, Greenlight, and Zombies, they're going to be changing the gameplay there as well. So hopefully when we see gameplay changes happen for the mode in the LTM here towards the end of the week, maybe it'll be Thursday, Friday, we'll have to wait and see. We also see other updates take place that actually address some of the significant flaws with the game right now, or at least we get some communication there too. Gotta say, it's pretty disappointing knowing that we're gonna have a major update go out in the form of a title update, and then it ends up being very minimal changes, and their communication around it was generally poor, unfortunately. So hopefully things turn around. Obviously, as we get any new announcements, reveals, anything like that, this is the place to be to stay up to date. So hit that subscribe button, click that notification bell so you can always be in the know for all things going on. And if you enjoyed the video, a like rating does really help grow the channel and share the video around. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take it easy. Have an awesome rest of your day. I'll catch you later. Peace out.